Welcome everybody to Sunday's Convo with Connie and Val. I'm Connie.
I'm Val.
And we're so excited today about this topic, and I'm sure you'll be able to laugh and reminisce with us, and hopefully you will. And if you don't, I want to encourage you to start it up as soon as I tell you what it is. But first, I want to remind you that this is a place where God wants us to rest and be at peace. And that's why we're here today. We want to strike up the conversation of whatever happened to Sunday's dinner. Yeah, whatever happened to Sunday's dinner?
Girl, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. When I was a little girl, Sunday's dinner was always at grandma's house or aunt's house or over at Reb's house. And it was a place of safety, a place for love and affection, love and attention. I realize the family dynamic today is a little different, with the blended families, and everybody may not be into God or into church, but everybody is into family. And if we not, I pray that we get there. We should be, because family is core. It's core for the community. It's core for society. That family is, that strong foundation. But anyway, but when I was a little girl, back to Sunday's Convo, the family dinner on Sunday, after we would get out of church and we would go over someone's house, like I said, it didn't matter who it was. It could have been the mother of the church or the head usher, but we would get there, and the good food, and sometimes not so good food, but you ate it because we were grateful. It was still that camaraderie and the love and the laughter. And then there was always somebody, that sports fanatic, who just didn't want to be bothered. But you learn that respect. You learn to allow people to be themselves. Everybody doesn't like greens with jalapeno peppers in it, and others, you better not forget those jalapenos in the greens. You had those who, didn't want the macaroni and cheese because it was slimy, but there were those of us who ate it by the spoonfuls. Just that time together to make you laugh, to make you smile, and to bless one another, give each other that affirmation that seems to be missing today. We would get that around the Sunday table, be encouraged to go out, for whatever thing you were applying for, or encouraging people to go to college, or encouraging people to get in competitions, rooting you on. And so I'm excited about it, and I want to start it up with my family once again, because now that many of us are adults, that tradition just doesn't seem to be kept in place. And so I want to reel it back in. What do you think?
I think that's an excellent idea. In these times and seasons that we are in, we all could use more love and more comfort. Mm-hmm. And the Sunday dinner was a place of comfort. It was a place where, after you worked for 5 days a week, some people 6 days a week, that on Sunday, for those who go to church after that church service is over, that you can run to Aunt so-and-so's or to grandma's, and you can smell the food at the door before you get in there. You hear the conversations with the women laughing and the men shouting at the TV, and it's just a place of love and comfort. And it's just a warm place, a place where family gets together, a place where family supports and cares for each other, a place where family checks up on each other. And we don't have that very much in these days. I'm sure somewhere across this great, vast earth, there are families that are still having Sunday dinners, but for the most part, it is a lost art, and I call it an art because that's what it was. Families getting together. In my family, we had a lot of jokesters, a lot of comedians that kept us laughing, that kept us on the floor, stomach hurting kind of laughter. And those days are very much missed. best. And so I promote Sunday dinner coming back
Me too.
to the
Me
house
too.
of families. And yes, a lot of our patriarchs are gone. Grandmothers, aunts, uncles have passed on.
Yeah.
But who's to say the ones that are still here can't start that tradition again for the families, the generations that are coming?
Right.
Because they don't know anything about that kind of thing unless somebody does it. So who better than us to start it again?
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. As a matter of fact, I was thinking, learning, and as people get older, some people's taste buds change, and not everybody. And by the way, I don't know if you could tell by my drawl, but we're here in Texas, and we have this thing called tea. And sometimes some of us put a little diabetes in our tea. It's so sweet, But our taste buds change over the years. And so I'm thinking, learning how to adapt, how to cook for everybody in the house. Like I was making mention of the jalapenos and the greens. I personally do not like jalapeno in my greens, but I've learned for those who do that, I just bury mine in a bunch of cornbread, and so that eases the palate. But my point with that is learning to accept each other's differences. When you are around your family and your friends and food and fun, you learn certain people's skills that you may not otherwise learn. You go out into the street and those differences may cause some hostile situations. But when you're around your family and that core value is and that love and the structure and the camaraderie and the affirmations and all of that, it's so much to gain. It's so much to glean from. And so I'm going to challenge my family to get back to it. Like I said, because of work schedules and all of that, it's a struggle sometimes, but not every Sunday they have to work. So I'm really, really excited about that. I am.
Yes.
And going and even having some fun family competitions, because some people think their sweet potato pies are the bomb.
Well.
And I'm thinking maybe I can challenge that.
Come on now. Come on.
But anyway, we want you to like and share our video, and we also we welcome your comments. And if you don't mind, if you have some recipes to share, drop them in the contents. I don't want you to give away any family recipes, that you have under oath. But if you can share, please do so, and we welcome that. And I am so excited to be here with you today. And we're going to be back next Sunday with a different topic, and or the same topic depending on how many comments we get. But anyway, I am Connie,
And I am Val.
and we want to welcome you and thank you for tuning in today.
Shalom.
Shalom.